What's next? I keep asking myself that. What is next? What comes next? What do we do? I see all of the stuff that's happening in Minnesota, and I know you guys do too. You guys are one of the most intelligent and informed audiences out there. And typically, I try to lean to stories that aren't the first page news. Maybe something that you guys didn't catch. But I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to talk about what's going on in Minnesota and how we recover from it. Again, we've seen people going door to door. We've seen guns drawn on pastors. We've seen people brutally taken out by ICE agents. And we've seen the cruelty that follows up. We've seen the cover-ups, the investigation shut down. We've seen all of this. And so far, there's no accountability. So what do we do about it? I mean, you're probably pissed off. I'm absolutely sad and angry too. I don't know where we go from here. Because let's play this out. Let's say that a federal judge tells Kristi Noem and her stormtroopers, her Gestapo, to stop. What happens when she doesn't? What happens when these people, these thugs, these masked fake police keep marching into our communities? Who's going to hold them accountable? We've seen local police say that they're going to stand up to all of these thugs. We've seen that local leaders have said that they're going to enforce court orders and the laws of this country. But again, let's play it out. These are federal officers. Most likely they're going to be committing federal crimes. So what's going to happen? Donald Trump is just going to pardon them. And we've already seen that the Supreme Court has ruled that if Donald Trump's doing it as an official act, it's not illegal. And that is absolutely terrifying and disgusting. And it makes me afraid because I know that this is all a prelude. It's a prelude to November. It's a prelude to the midterms. That's why you're hearing Trump talk about how he's going to get impeached if the Democrats take the House. Because it's true. He knows what he is doing is illegal, immoral, and unconstitutional. So back to my original question. What's next? What do we do about it? I don't know if there's a firm answer, if there's a right answer, but I know a few things. Number one, we cannot respond with violence. I absolutely love seeing the No Kings protests and the protests against ICE, where the Republicans keep calling us radical, violent leftist lunatics. Meanwhile, we're in our inflatable suits, we're smiling, we're waving, we're chanting, and we are expressing our anger that our country has been ripped away from us. So that's the first thing. We cannot respond with violence because that's what they want. They want an excuse. They want an excuse to march into our communities and intimidate us. They want an excuse to influence our elections. And so that's the next thing we have to do. We have to vote like hell. I know this isn't going to be a fair fight. We know that Trump is out there putting his thumb on every bit of our elections, whether it's threatening to seize ballot boxes, whether it is attacks on voting machines or mail-in voting or deportations or whatever it is. We know that this isn't a fair fight. So the first thing we have to do is we have to make sure that it's irrefutable, not a close call, that it is something that can be seen and felt across the country in November. And that starts now. That starts by looking for your candidates in your area, looking at these candidates that make a difference, the ones that are going to hold people accountable. Donate to them. Like and share their Facebook messages, their Instagram messages. Support independent media, the people who are telling the truth. And I'm not just saying it for us. I'm saying any of those great voices out there that are speaking the truth. And speaking of speaking the truth, the next thing we have to do is keep all eyes on the wrongs of this administration. Everything is a distraction from something else. whether it is the Epstein files, don't ever let them forget that the Epstein files exist and Donald Trump's in it. Don't ever let them forget that the courts are holding them accountable. Don't let them just say, I don't know what you're talking about, like Mike Johnson always does. Keep these stories front and center. And then hold the people, not the ones in government, because we know we can take care of that by voting, or that they're going to be shielded under Donald Trump's regime. But there are 30 to 40% of Americans who approve of Donald Trump's cruelty. Not just people who would vote for him, people who actively approve of this madman's actions. Hold those people accountable. Hold the donors accountable. The people who support this terror in our communities, stop supporting them. Make sure that they know that they will fail if they stand up to us. So look, I don't know if November is going to go the way we want it to. I don't know if things are going to get better. I do know that the Trump regime is scared. They're a cornered animal right now. And what does a cornered animal do when they're scared? They bite. So I have a feeling he's going to escalate things between now and November. So it's our job, you and me, to make sure that in November we vote, that we keep these stories front and center. We support the candidates. They're going to help us do that. And then we remain an example. We love our neighbors. We show people what America is supposed to be like. I don't know what November brings, but I know that you and I are going to do it together. Thanks for watching that video. Be sure to like and share it all over the place. And then during the week, catch Jared. I'll be back next weekend with more Ring of Fire weekends. Be sure to like and subscribe.